Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Varahadev, 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 Jaya Varahadev. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, thank you very much. We will continue with the next part, which is the lecture. His Grace Damodar Prasad Prabhu will do a quick announcement.
Hare Krishna, Haribol. Welcome to our Sunday program. Herzlich willkommen zu unserem Sonntagsfest. Gibt es jemand, der kein Englisch versteht? Okay. Russisch? Do we have a Russian translation today? We will try to arrange. Yeah. So thank you all for coming today. Anyone here for the first time? Yes? Welcome. Yeah, we met outside. I think I should close the curtain, huh? We try to be enlightened, but not that enlightened. So we have now a lecture. This is traditionally what we do at 4 o'clock on Sunday. And today we have a very special guest with us, His Grace Bhakti Labhya Prabhu. Let us welcome him. Hari Bol! Please, Bhakti Labhya Prabhu, if you like to take a seat. I will make sure. Bhakti Labhya Prabhu is a well-known member of our community. Bhakti Labhya Prabhu, he joined the Krishna consciousness movement in 1986, so he's one of our very senior members. And he's originally from Ticino. That's the Italian-speaking part of Switzerland for those. Sorry. Yes, he's originally from Goloka Vrindavan. This is a place in the spiritual world, but he mercifully came to this material world to spread Krishna consciousness. Bhakti Labhya Prabhu, for many years he was engaged as a brahmachari, that means a monk who dedicates his full time to the missionary activities of Krishna consciousness, and he has especially been engaged in spreading Krishna consciousness in public by distribution of books. So he has done that for many years. Later on he got married. He's now living in Ticino with his wife and son, and he's still very active, not only in Zurich but also in Italy itself. Because he speaks Italian, he's preaching in Italian language. And Bhakti Labhya Prabhu will today speak on the topic balance of intelligence and feelings in Bhakti-Yoga. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna to everyone. notice my accent in my so-called English. And yeah, I have seen that quite few they are new here, and maybe they were here for 1 hour and they hear, they're always chanting this Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. They know to chant only this? No. We know other songs. And now I will prove you. Then we can chant something else. We'll chant a very nice prayer. Jayo Radha Madhava. Glorification of Lord Krishna in Vrindavan. It will be short. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Radha Madhava Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Radha Madhava Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jayo O Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tera Vanachari Yamuna Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Shri Shri Radha Madhava Ki Jai. So the title of today will be Balance of Intelligence and Feelings in Bhakti. Why I choose this theme? Because Bhakti-Yoga, we will see how the practice is divided in two parts, called Vaidhi Bhakti, the regulative practice of the Bhakti, and the Raganuga Bhakti, that is more the spontaneous practice of Bhakti Yoga. So sometimes there is little confusion on this, and I would like to see, according to the scriptures and our Acharya, how the two things, they are not separated, how they come together at certain point, and we should learn the way how to practice. So since we are taking inspiration by Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it is the Nectar of Devotion, written by Srila Rupa Goswami. Today we are chanting a prayer that normally we recite before reading the scripture in honor to the 6 Goswami of Vrindavana, among them Srila Rupa Goswami. So I think some of you know already, otherwise just hear these nice prayers. Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipuno Sadharma Samstapako Lokanamitakarino Tribhuvane Manyo Sharanyakaro Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajana Mande Namatariko Mande Rupa Sanatana Ragyo Yugo Sri Jiva Gopalako. I will read the translation of this wonderful prayer. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis, namely Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principle for the benefit of all human beings. Thus they are honored all over the 3 worlds, and they are worth taking shelter of because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Radha and Krishna. So the six Goswami of Vrindavana, they extensively wrote scriptures in order to shape the practice of devotional service, to give us direction and inspiration also in practicing in the proper way. Srila Prabhupada often said that the practice of Bhakti-Yoga is a science. Science means if you practically practice in a proper way, you will get some results. If you practice in another way, you will get other results. So they learned directly from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself, about the science of Bhakti Yoga. And under his order, they put this in writing form. Of course, this was almost 500 years ago, and they write in a pergamon, not in books. And we are fortunate today that we have these books. And on the topic, this is a large, very large topic, actually. I will just give some little understanding, some guide in order that hopefully we become more clear on this. So, at the beginning of the chapter 2 of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, entitled The First Stage of Devotion, Srila Rupa Goswami wrote, the sadhana bhakti, or practice of devotional service, may also be divided into two parts. The first part is called service according to regulative principles. One has to follow these different regulative principles by the order of the spiritual master or on the strength of authoritative scriptures. And there can be no question of refusal. That is called vaidhi, or regulated. One has to do it without argument. Another part of sadhana bhakti is called raganuga. Raganuga refers to the point at which, by following the regulative principles, one becomes a little more attached to Krishna and executes devotional service out of natural love. So, we can see sadhana bhakti. Now, what is sadhana bhakti? Here it is explained. I will just read because it's so nice. When we wish to develop our innate capacity for devotional service, there are certain processes which, by our accepting and executing them, will cause that dormant capacity to be invoked. Such practice is called sadhana bhakti. So sadhana bhakti, is explained here, is divided in two parts. Vaidhi bhakti, or regulative practice, following some rules and regulations, and raganuga bhakti, more the spontaneous way. So we have to learn to balance these two parts, because they are very important, both. In order to practice properly Bhakti Yoga, we need to learn what is Bhakti Yoga. And we need to learn the principles. We need to learn what we need to avoid by practicing Bhakti Yoga and what is welcome to practice Bhakti Yoga. So there are a lot of rules and regulations to learn. And we cannot just learn by doing our experiences, but better if we learn from those that they know what is Bhakti Yoga, that they reach already this level of spontaneous devotional service to the Lord. Now, they went through and they know what they are speaking about. So here is the advice to follow the instruction of a spiritual master that belong to a certain parampara, this cyclic succession of spiritual master, and finally this instruction they come directly from the Lord. So this is the way. Or to study the scriptures, always under the guidance of the spiritual master, because often the scriptures they can be interpreted. I'm reading something and think, okay, I understood. How many times amongst you we are reading Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, one verse, and we think, yes, that's fine, that's nice. And then we go through the purport of Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada and he says something else. So it was not really our understanding. So we are very fortunate because we have this transcendental purpose, then they help us to remain in the track, remain on the right direction, and to learn the proper way. So we know that also in this material world, in order to be accepted, to be able to do something, you have to go through a learning process. No one will accept to do a surgery on the brain just with someone that he studied some books, and he went to Google something about surgery and he learned something, and then suddenly, he's, no problem. I can do a surgery for you. I learned everything. Google, everything is... this is not nonsense person. We will accept this as a... No, normally they have to study. They have to show that they learn. They have to go to a period of, apprenticeship? Apprenticeship, yes. You learn under the guidance of someone that know, and then when they see that you are qualified, then you can start to do the surgery. And this everything like this, Once there was a Prabhupada disciple, he was cooking for Prabhupada, and then he cooked something with zucchini. And then when he bring the preparation, Prabhupada say, this is not the way how to cut zucchini. And he say, oh no, and how is the way? Then Prabhupada went to the kitchen and he showed how to cut zucchini. And then, we need a guru also for cutting zucchini. Prabhupada say, yes. It's interesting, no? We have to learn everything. Sometimes it's difficult to accept this, following someone, then he's training up. I was thinking, I approach Krishna consciousness and, why here again, someone has to teach me. Lord will see my feelings. Yeah, he's also seeing this. But he also like that we learn to do in the proper way. He's a person. So he also like and don't like things, like every person. Something we like and something we don't like. Krishna don't eat everything. You say, he's God, why don't eat everything? Why he's a person? He has some taste. Some things he likes and some things he don't like. So, this is the way how to go. We are learning the practice of Bhakti-Yoga, by the part, by following the instruction of a spiritual master, by following the instruction given by the scriptures, and by following the guidance of devotee that they are already practicing, if they follow the principle. So then, let's go a little bit to see about Raganuga Bhakti, because it's where we are supposed to go, right? But we have to see what is. So on chapter 16, spontaneous devotion further describes. So it started already before, but I pick up something from here. Eligibility for spontaneous devotional service. So eligibility means we have to become ready for this. We need to deserve this. No? We have to do to go under some way in order to come to this point. Persons desiring to follow in the footsteps of such eternal devotees of the Lord as the Vrishnis and Vrindavan denizens are called Raganuga devotee, which means that they are trying to attain to the perfection of those devotees. These Raganuga devotees do not follow the regulative principle of devotional service very strictly. But by spontaneous nature, they became attracted to some of the eternal devotees such as Nanda or Yashoda, and they try to follow in their footsteps spontaneously. There is a gradual development of the ambition to become like a particular devotee, and this activity is called Raganuga. It's very interesting, you know. So you just follow some devotees, and they are in this platform of Raganuga, and by following them, we will pick up the spontaneity in the practice of devotional service. But we need to understand that following the footstep or following this final eternal associate of the Lord is not a question of imitation. Following is not imitation. Often we fall in the imitation. We want to imitate them, but we are not yet on this level. And imitation will bring nowhere. Because listen now what Srila Rupa Goswami say. We must always remember, however, that such eagerness to follow in the footsteps of the denizens of Raja, Vrindavana, is not possible unless one is free from material contamination. You got the point? If we are still material contaminated, there's no way to reach this level. In following the regulative principle of devotional service, there is stage called anartha nivritti, which means the disappearance of all material contamination. Sometimes someone is found imitating such devotional love, but factually is not free from anarthas. Anartha means attachment, or unwanted habits, better. It has been seen that a so-called devotee proclaims himself a follower of Nanda, Yashoda, or the gopis, while at the same time his abominable attraction for mundane sex life is visible. Such a manifestation of divine love is mere imitation and has no value. When one is actually spontaneously attracted to the loving principles of the gopis, there will be found no trace of any mundane contamination in his character. Therefore, in the beginning, everyone should strictly follow the regulative principles of devotional service, according to the injunctions of the scriptures and the spiritual master. Only after the stage of liberation from material contamination can one actually aspire to follow in the footsteps of the devotees in Vrindavana. So, this is the way how to go. We should not imitate, but we should become purified gradually by practicing the Vaidhi, Bhakti, the regulative principle. So what means these rules and regulation? Because sometimes we are thinking, it's also right, but we limited this in following the four regulative principles that we are expressing. But it's not only this. In the Nectar of Instruction, Srila Rupa Goswami explained that regulative principle means to practice the 9 levels of the practice of devotional service. Then it starts with Shravanam, means hearing. What we are doing now, hearing. This is already following a regulative principle. Gradually introduce in our life, daily life, hearing from the scriptures, hearing from the saintly persons, and this will bring gradually purification of our heart. We will become free from the anarthas, our material contaminations. Hearing, Shravanam, then next is Kirtanam. Kirtanam means chanting the holy name or reciting Bhagavad Gita. Or Yes, and then the next one is smaranam, means remembering. By hearing and chanting, or chanting and hearing, then we will remember the Lord. And then it go on. Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, to start to serve. Harchanam, worshipping the Lord. Vandanam, offering prayer. Sakyam, then the three more, they are more elevated, developing a friendship with the Lord. And then the last one is Atmanivedanam, surrender completely to the Lord. So this, they are also considered regulative principle in the practice of devotional service. So it's not just a question of prohibiting to do something, but it's also a suggestion to do something, to be proactive, to practice in order to become purified. And then there are many rules and regulations that they are given in the scriptures, especially in Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, in order that we learn how to behave properly, for example, in the association with devotees, how to behave properly when we go in front of the Lord on the altar. So many of these things we need to learn. So it seems that it's taking time for everyone to reach this platform of spontaneity. But actually this is included in the regulative practice of Vaidhi Bhakti. And how this? I will read something more, then help us to understand. So after explaining that is very important to follow the regulative principles, Rupa Goswami say, for example, a person engaged in devotional service may be ordered to rise early in the morning and offer arati, which is a form of deity worship. In the beginning, by the order of his spiritual master, one rises early in the morning and offer arati, but then he develops real attachment. When he gets this attachment, he automatically tries to decorate the deity and prepare different kinds of dresses and things of different plans to execute his devotional service nicely. Although it is within the category of practice, regulative, no? This offering of loving service is spontaneous. So this is the key. This is the key. So the practice of devotional service, sadhana bhakti, can be divided into two parts, namely regulative and spontaneous. So by learning, under the guidance of the spiritual master and the scriptures, we will gradually develop this spontaneity. It's not that you have to practice for so many years and then you get the stamp and now you can go to Raganuga. It doesn't work like this. It's a gradual process of become purified, and gradually we will develop our spontaneity in serving the Lord. And I think this is a very important point, because if we don't understand this, then we will face difficulty. Either we remain too much stick to the principles and rules and regulation, and we have to go like this, and then other we jump immediately to the artificially imitating this artificial level of spontaneity. And Rupa Goswami said that this has no value. There's no value for the Lord. if we don't learn the way. So this is the key. For example, service in the altar for devotee, there are so many rules and regulations to follow. But in the same time, as is expressed here, the devotee is learning the spontaneity. It's not that in the morning the pujari, before dressing the Lord, he go to the spiritual master and say, Guruji, what clothes I have to put today? The green one, the red one, the yellow one, or what? It don't work like this. He learned the way, and then he has to develop his spontaneity. So just to get an idea if you understand the point, especially for those that they are practicing since long, I see here many. What other example we can give? No? Because maybe the practice on the altar is not clear for many, but in our daily life, how we can combine the two parts, to learn the way, the rules, and then the spontaneity. Do you have any idea? Yes, please. Manu Prabhu.
So we are recommended to chant every day 16 rounds of the Hare Krishna mantra. And in the beginning it's like a heavy discipline to focus our mind every day for around 2 hours. We have to force ourselves, although we don't like it sometimes, take the time out. And in due course of time, when we do it every day, there will become a natural taste to chant the holy name, and we want to do it more and more. And to chant 16 rounds, it feels nothing, and we want to do it deeper, better, and so the taste will develop. But first we have to follow the rules and the discipline, and then the taste will come.
Thank you, Manu Prabhu, for the nice example in chanting. Chanting in the beginning can be, chanting all these rounds and an effort. But then we become purified, we develop the taste, and it becomes more spontaneous. And not only chanting on the japa, it can be that you are walking and suddenly you start to chant. Or you are doing any job and suddenly you start to chant. This is spontaneous. It's not instruction by the guru that you have to chant when you are working or where you are. Anyway. Any other example? Please. Damodar Prasad Prabhu.
Just one example comes to my mind, famous one of Garga Muni Prabhu, the disciple of Srila Prabhupada, who tells the story. Brahmananda, his brother, tells the story how he went to Prabhupada because he saw everybody's bowing down in front of Prabhupada, and he went to Prabhupada to tell him that actually I don't feel like bowing down, so that's why I don't bow down. And Prabhupada said, no, you should bow down. When you do, the feeling will come. And yeah, I think personally I have this experience. Sometimes we don't feel, again, we should bow down, but the feeling comes of humility, and you start to like this also. I like this feeling of being humble and small and insignificant.
Thank you for the nice example. Yes, because practicing the Bhakti-Yoga process, willingly or not willingly, is so powerful that one becomes purified. It's simply one accept and try to do, although yes, not realization, although it's not spontaneity, but the process works. It becomes purified, and then these feelings will come out of the purification process. Other examples? You have an idea? Sure.
It's not an example, it's just beautiful how you said it, that there's initiation of the presence, there's trust, is and burns karma. And
it's just very gratifying to hear this from you. Thank you.
Welcome. Something that we are doing every day. Every day we need to eat, right? In order to eat, probably we have to cook. Okay, we can also not cook. We can eat, fruits or other things that are ready. But normally we cook. And we are supposed to cook in the practice of Bhakti-Yoga for the pleasure of the Lord. So first of all, we need to learn what the Lord likes and what doesn't like. He explained in Bhagavad Gita, patram pushpam phalam tuyam. So he say 4 things he likes, fruits, grains, and then milk products, vegetable. He don't say eggs, fish, meat. Don't say. So we learn from the scriptures, from the Acharya, okay, Krishna likes these things and not that things. Then there is a certain process to go when we are cooking for Krishna. We learn from devotees, from the scriptures, from the spiritual master. And then when we learn the principle of cleanliness also and many things that are around cooking, then it comes the spontaneity. So we have even cookbook, and we can follow exactly the recipe. And then of course there are already so many recipes. But then at certain point when we become very intuitive, when we become purified as on this, it will come out this spontaneous level. Then we learn the principles and we can combine things. And what is incredible is that in this level of spontaneity, the spontaneity resides in that what we are feeling is what Krishna feels. So Krishna can inspire his devotee in the heart, today I want to eat this. And cook please in this way. Because this is a high level, but this is where it brings Raganuga Bhakta. So already on the way, we can experience this. So this is another example.
I had this experience a few times that, for example, usually festival times, when you go, you sit down, you have these parties like regularly. You take part of the bhajan, and the bhajan is so good that in one point you just cannot sit anymore. You have to stand up and you start to dance, and you have these ecstatic feelings. So this part is much more spontaneous.
Yes, thank you for the good example. Yes. Feelings is important because bhakti is based on feelings. Bhakti cannot really be bhakti if it's mechanical. And this is the risk. Sometimes we become too much mechanical in our chanting, in our prayers, in our rules that we are following. Too much mechanical. And love cannot be mechanical without feeling. And what unites us with Krishna is love. So we need to balance these two things. And I say this is a huge topic. And if you don't have at home Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion, please take one and go regularly reading, and you will learn so much about. Please, Prabhu.
I can ask a question at this one?
There is still one part, but it's related to this.
Yes.
Okay.
So as you were explaining, to balance between the feelings and like how we execute the Vaidhi Bhakti. And Bhagavad Gita chapter number 2, Lord talks about Swadharma and Nitya Dharma. As a Grahastha, there is something which you have to do for your livelihood, and then you have to also follow the instructions of Guru. Your feelings and love says that you want to sit 1 more hour for kirtan, but your duties are actually are dragging you away. What to do in such situation? The feelings are intense, but your duties are Swadharma is catching you. So what shall be the focus?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So everything is based on desire. If you desire to chant more and to sit more with the devotee, but it's a real desire. It's not because I don't want to go to work, then stay with the devotees. It's better. No, really, because you are tasting the chanting, you like the association with the devotee, and you need also to deserve, in the sense that you are behaving properly with the devotee, you are behaving properly in the relation with the holy name, and everything. It's just question of time. Krishna see your desire, and then he will arrange that in the future you will be more associated with the devotee, you can chant more, and it's just question of time. I assure you, the children, they are growing quickly. Sometimes I look my son, 26 years, wow. He was just a baby a few moments ago. It's 27 years. Wow. Go fast. Work on the desire. Okay? So I will use the last minutes because probably you notice on the altar today there is a special picture, a build. And maybe some of you that are new, they're thinking, well, what is this? It looks like some kind of pig. Is a boar there on the altar. What has to do this with Krishna? So today is it's a festivity for us. We are remembering the transcendental appearance of Lord Varahadeva. Lord Varahadeva is an avatar of Krishna, one of the Lila avatara, and is Krishna that appeared long time ago, in another era, another kalpa, in the form of a boar. It's a very interesting story, it's a long story, and you can find this in the 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So please, if you don't have the 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, you should take. It's a very nice story. And I know that someone would say, why the Lord has to appear as a boar? A boar is part of the family of pigs. Is insulting God, to think that he can take this form. No, actually, the scriptures and the Acharya, they explain that he takes God in this form for a specific reason. And not only one reason, because the Lord is not like us, that we are limited when we are doing something, there is only one thing. The Lord, when he's doing one activity, he has many more purposes. And first of all, because, as we say, Krishna is a person and he has feelings. And one of these feelings, he likes to perform pastimes. And he likes to perform pastimes with his devotees. And he's enjoying performing these pastimes, like we are enjoying performing pastimes. And so for him it's a pastime. And another reason is it take this form because it was the perfect form to arrange something that was not at all good for us. Because if you see, on the top of his mouth, he has something round. And this is the Earth planet. So the story say that suddenly, I don't explain why, it's a long story, the Earth planets fall on the Garbhodaka ocean. It's a huge ocean that cover half of the universe. So the Earth planet fall on this ocean and he went to the bottom. And Lord Brahma, he found this and he didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do, how I can bring back the Earth planet to its place. And then Lord Brahma is the most intelligent person. But he could not find the solution. So then he started to meditate on the Lord and pray the Lord, you are the only one that can do something to solve this situation. And then the Lord, in a very transcendental way, appeared in the form of a boar. Why? Because the boars, they are considered to be, how is this, amphibian? Amphibian, yes, amphibian. They can go on the water. And if you know boar, they can excavate in the earth also. So you can imagine on the bottom of the ocean, there is a lot of mud, so much mud. And the earth fall there on this mud and could not be any more seen. No? So you need a boar in order to go and find. And how he's doing? He's doing with his nose. The sense of smell is so developed that he can find something by smelling. No? For this they have this nose in that form. And then we can say, yeah, but also a dog has this capacity. Yeah, but dog don't have the task. Why the task? Because, he reached the Earth planet, he found it, but then how to uplift and bring back with the task. They are perfect because they are round like this, and they just take the Earth planet and come back. And it's a long story because on the way, huge demon, very powerful demon, Hiranyaksha came, and he didn't want that Lord Varadeva do this. He said, no, wait one moment, This Earth planet now fall on the lower planetary system. So must be there. It belongs to us. Don't touch. And then there was a transcendental fight. We'll not go through the whole story. It's a fascinating story. And finally our planet came back. Thanks to the mercy of Lord Varadeva. And if we are here today, because we are standing on the Earth planet, right? And Mother Earth, it is say also, she's giving us so much, to live on this planet, is thanks to Varadeva. So we should be thankful to him today, right? So much more can be said, but I let you read from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto directly. So at that point, there is any question, any comment, or anything you like to share regarding the two themas? Please, microphone.
Thank you. First of all, the example that I failed to give before was the same thing, like the reason why I came here, to chant, to join the kirtan, and to feel Krishnaji's grace. And the question is, what was it that you wanted to tell the second part that was cut short before the question came?
Before your question,
Before the question came regarding the duties and when you feel like chanting but you have duties to attend.
yeah, I wanted to connect with the appearance of Lord Varadeva. So I
Okay.
didn't know if maybe we start the questions, then it will take time, and then probably I could not say something.
Okay. Thank you.
It's only this. Of course, much more can be said, but this topic, is so deep. It will take months, not hours. And this is another beauty of the Bhakti-Yoga, practice of devotional service. There is no limit. There's no limit. Anything else? Oh, sorry.
I'm wondering, you told us about like 2 types of devotional service, like sadhana bhakti, and what if, like, while Harinam, for instance, and somebody could join our like process of singing and dancing and stuff, and they look quite like aesthetic, but it's not regulated practice. Like they just join by themselves, like just by heart or something. It's that's already like Raganuga Bhakti, or it's just something else?
Yeah, interesting what you say. Thank you. This is the special mercy of the Lord. Because for a long time we were so distant of Him, and when we become again in contact with the Lord through the association of the devotees and the practice that they are following, is giving to us some special mercy in order to taste what is Bhakti Yoga, to be encouraged. And it's some kind of Raganuga. It's not pure Raganuga, because we are still so much motivated. Need time also to explain this. One of the reasons why someone is approaching Krishna itself explained in the Bhagavad Gita, there are 4 reasons, and one of the reasons is, for example, that one is suffering. Okay? So, when you come in contact with the devotee and you practice, then somehow or other you feel happiness. But this is not the pure happiness. This is just reducing your suffering. You understand? So this is not pure Raganuga. But it's something. It's a special mercy of the Lord that gives you the possibility to get some glimpse of what is the reality. Okay? Can I answer your question? Thank you. Yamuna, we have 1 minute. I can answer to you in 1 minute? It's okay?
Hare Krishna. So sometimes we know that anartha nivritti is actually to get rid of all material contaminations. Of course, like it's very subtle, but sometimes also Prabhupada speaks of just the regulative principles. And if we chant, then we actually overcame the worst contaminations in that sense. And then, of course, we know that, as you said, spontaneous devotional service can only be performed if we are after this stage. And sometimes we see that some kids, they are really spontaneously like to do something for Krishna. So we know we shouldn't stop, but where should we set like borders, or how to deal with that if we really see there is something, but of course they are not on this stage yet. So
children generally, they should be always encouraged. Of course, then there is different stages. But you say, for example, till the age of 5, let them do what they are doing. No teaching. Give just the example. And then from 5 to 10, you start to introduce something, but still encourage their spontaneity. And this is what the Guru also is doing with the disciple. At the beginning, he's not going too much with rules and regulations. Srila Prabhupada, when he was in New York at the beginning, he didn't start immediately with 4 regulative principles and do this and do that and that. Otherwise, no one would come. Some they figure out about the 4 regulative principles at the day of initiation. So we have heard that. Prabhupada said, yes. Now I explain you also this. So generally, children need to be inspired and let them grow naturally in this. It's a big tema, Yamuna. I hope can help you a little bit. Time factor is. Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Bhakti Labhya Prabhu ki jai, Varahadev Bhagavan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you all, dear devotees, for attending today's lecture. Thank you very much, Bhakti Labhya Prabhu, for presenting both the philosophical and also the festival part of today. And now I'm inviting Rasa Shai Ram Prabhu. He will make an announcement.
So, Hare Krishna, everyone. So, as we already mentioned last week, we want to try out on a trial basis a traditional way of serving prasadam. The food we cook here and offer to the Lordship, we want to serve that in a traditional way. Every time you have seen it in a buffet form, now you will see it in our traditional way. So, this is the first time, and it will be an experiment. And I hope you are all excited, so that it can run smoothly. Some announcements so that we can at the end prepare everything nicely. So what we will have to do now first is the grey cushions, we will have to store it behind the room. So I will then request everyone to bring the cushions there. And then in the other room, we will open the door. There are blue cushions. So anyone who needs cushions, they can take cushions. Then you have seen on the floors, we have marked something. And they are also numbered. And Labhya, can you call Lord Jagannath Prabhu inside? He will be guiding you how to sit. So we will start from the lowest number 1, and he will be showing you how and where to sit. And then he will be guiding. We will smoothly fill up all the rows. And also for the elderly people who need to sit at a table, you are invited to sit on the table in the other room. And because we have a limited space, I only request those elderly people, only the elderly people to use the table, and all the other young ones to use the floor. Is that okay? And then we will guide you a little further. So please first bring your cushions there. And here is Lord Jagannath Prabhu in the white side. Cloth, he will show you how to sit.
You know, this is like when you start chanting, you have to know many things. It looks a little bit mechanical. what we just heard, but it will become more spontaneous in the future. Don't worry. It's not going to be like this all the time.
Dir Mikrofon.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please, you can find on the floor the rows. This is the first 2 rows, let's say. So first devotees sit with their back to the wall, and devotees in front of them. The same is here. Please sit here with the back to the windows. Yes, you can start. No, please, devotees, please sit closer to the wall. Closer to the wall. Can you sit it here? Yeah, this is the line. So, no, yeah. Sit. No. Here will be another devotee. Yes. Devotees, please sit here with the back to other devotees. With your back to other devotees. Yes, you're right. Devotees, please don't put your things there, because we also plan that someone will sit there. Yes, perfect. Can you sit closer, because we will have some space